That brings the time to almost 25 past 1. You're listening to the news at 1 on BBC Radio Foyle. Now, the sports firm Armour says the personal data of around 150 million people using its fitness app, MyFitnessPal, may have been stolen. It's thought emails, usernames and passwords were taken last month. Charlie Brown, who presents an Australian technology show called Cybershack, said users should change their passwords immediately.
If you're using this service and you're using the same password and same username, then once this information is out there, it's out there now, the passwords are encrypted, but should that encryption be unlocked, somebody could gain access to your MyFitnessPal account.
Well, Dr. Curran is from Ulster University's Computer Science Research Institute. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Amanda.
How does something like this happen? Practically anyone you speak to has MyFitnessPal.
Yeah, but of course, the good guys have to protect every single way into a website, and the bad guys only have to get lucky once. And this is the largest data breach this year. I mean, it does pale in significance to Yahoo, where 3 billion accounts were compromised. But again, it's not particularly what we find here is usernames, email addresses, and hashed passwords. So at least the passwords were not stored in what we call plain text. So therefore, it's harder for the hackers to actually reverse those passwords. But like any data breach, the more, people reuse passwords in different sites. So that's the problem. Is the fact is that if someone's email is listed in here and the password was actually decrypted, they would be able to reuse it on another site. So of course, the advice to anyone is to change the password if they use that service. But of course, people should never use the same password on different sites, and they should be long and even use a password manager if they can. But the danger is, of course, that people will reuse passwords.
Is that what the hackers are after? If they get your password, they think they can maybe get into a bank account or some other kind of an account where they can get at money or goods or something like that?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, they'll inventory the stolen data. They look for authentication credentials, personal information, names, addresses. Of course, then they'll look to sell this, and they bundle these on websites. There's forums you can go to, and of course, they look for particularly lucrative accounts like government and military addresses again. And quite often, like these breaches are what lead to other breaches. For instance, Dropbox was breached in 2012, and the credentials there were used in a LinkedIn data breach. So of course, these can go across data breaches. So all of this, there is value. I mean, depending on the data, especially if credit cards are stolen as well, that it all has a monetary value and resold on the dark web.
Just finally and briefly, the best advice to protect yourself is change that password?
It is, and there's also one service called haveibeenpwned.com, and that's PWNED. There, people should go, legitimate website, collects all the emails associated with any known website hacks, and you submit your email there, and if your personal details have been released in any previous website hack to date, it will inform you. And also when they happen in real time, you will get an email telling you that a breach has happened and your password has been part of that breach. So it's a good service to register for.
Okay, Dr. Curran, thank you very much indeed.